You became the person everyone calls when things fall apart. And somewhere along the way, you stopped being allowed to fall apart yourself. There's a specific kind of loneliness that comes with being the stable one, the reliable one, the one who holds it together while everyone else is breaking. It's not that people don't love you, they do. But they love you the way you love a lighthouse, strong, steady, always there when the storm comes. And lighthouses don't get rescued. Someone texts you at 2 a.m. because they're spiraling. You respond immediately. You say the right things. You steady them. It works. They calm down. They thank you. But the next morning, when you're exhausted and quietly drowning in your own thoughts, you don't text anyone, not because you don't want to, but because the role doesn't allow it. You've trained everyone around you to see you as the one who doesn't need support. So when you finally try to be vulnerable, it feels wrong, like you're breaking a contract no one remembers signing. You say, "I'm not doing great lately," and you watch their faces shift. Confusion, discomfort, sometimes even disappointment, because you're not supposed to struggle. You're the strong one. This isn't just about being helpful, it's about identity. Over time, being stable stopped being something you did and became who you are. Maybe you grew up in chaos. Maybe someone had to be the adult too early. Maybe being needed felt safer than being seen. Whatever the reason, the pattern locked in. Competence became currency. The more capable you were, the more people relied on you. The more they relied on you, the more your worth started to feel tied to that reliability. Slowly, you stopped being a person. You became a support system. Your brain learned something simple. Stable equals safe. Needed equals valuable. Strong equals loved. And every time you helped someone and they thanked you, your brain rewarded you for it. Over time, one belief wired itself deep. I help, therefore I matter. Repeat that long enough and it becomes identity. But here's the cost. The stronger that identity becomes, the more dangerous vulnerability feels. Because if you're not the strong one, who are you? Think of identity like a house. Most people build houses with multiple rooms. A strong room, a vulnerable room, a playful room, an uncertain room. But you built one room, the strong room. Everyone knows where it is. They trust it's always open. Now imagine trying to build a vulnerability room. It feels inconvenient, disruptive, wrong. Because if you change the architecture, people have to relearn how to relate to you. And that's terrifying. There's something quiet that happens over time. The better you are at holding space for others, the less space others hold for you. Not because they're cruel, because they assume you're fine. If you appear infinitely capable, people assume you have infinite capacity. The resentment you feel isn't really about them. It's about being trapped inside your own reliability. So how do you shift this without losing yourself? Not by becoming less reliable, by becoming less invisible. Start small. Instead of saying, "I'm good," say, "It's been a heavy week." Instead of fixing everything, admit when you're tired. Instead of being the solution, ask to be heard. Notice who leans in, notice who stays, and slowly, separate who you are from what you do. You are not the role. You are not the function. You are a person who sometimes helps. And there's grief here too. Grief for the version of you that had to grow up too fast. Grief for the child who learned that being strong was the safest way to survive. That wasn't fair, and it deserves acknowledgement. Strength without vulnerability is armor, and armor protects you from connection as much as it protects you from harm. You don't have to choose between being reliable and being real, but you do have to let people see you differently. Some people will feel uncomfortable. Let them. The right ones will feel relieved. They've been waiting for permission to support you back. The loneliness you feel isn't because no one cares. It's because you've never let anyone close enough to prove that they do. Being the stable one wasn't your flaw, it was your survival. But survival mode was never meant to be permanent. You're allowed to fall apart sometimes. You're allowed to not have the answer. You're allowed to need holding. Not because you're weak, because you're human. And humans don't have to be lighthouses forever. You can come ashore.